Alright guys, how's it going? It's Will here from Zaltek Reviews. Today I'm reviewing the Direnzo DRZ 05 Solaris, which is like the super compressor style dive watch, which is, I think, just the dive watches alone is a first for Direnzo watches. I was lucky enough to be sent the one that I asked for, the Meteorite limited edition version, which I believe is now sold out for the pre-orders. So anyway, let's have a closer look at this. Right guys, let's get into this then. The Direnzo DRZ 05. If you're not aware, this is the second one that I've reviewed from Direnzo. I reviewed the DRZ 04 and I thought it was outstanding. A superb watch. It was a sports watch with a integrated bracelet and all that. It was beautiful. I ended up buying it myself. That ended up on Zaltek Reviews Elite list, and it's still there. That's how good that one is. So when Sergio was saying, that's the owner by the way, was saying that he was coming out with a dive watch, I was like, ooh, fancy. I need to have a look at that. And the DRZ 04, I obviously opted for the white dial because I'm a big white dial fanboy. But I've always fancied having a look. I always like a Meteorite dial, so I did ask Sergio if I could look at the Meteorite version of this, but I actually didn't think he was going to send me it, but he did. So quite lucky in that respect. Right, let's go over. I don't want to make this video too long. Let's go. We'll go over the specs and whatnot. First off, the price. The standard ones, the standard colours, which is black and blue, and there's also a red one, I believe. And you've also got this Meteorite version, which is a bit more expensive. But the prices start from 650 Swiss francs, which is about what, $700. So fine, fair enough. No cheap, but you are getting a lot of watch for the money here. Right, size wise. Right, the case of this one, the diameter, I measured in at 38.6. You might think that's, oh, it's too small, it's too small. No, forget you need to remember, in fact, that there's an internal bezel on this one, and it wears more like a 40, I would say. I think that's quite accurate, about a 40, aye. Right, what else? Thickness. Thickness is actually really good. The thickness, sorry, is, I was a bit distracted there. I was trying to focus on the camera and focus on what I'm actually looking at the same time. Thickness is 12.8. The lug to lug is 46.4, and the lug width is 20mm. The bracelet itself, which is a beads of ice, which is a first for the Direnzo watches, I believe. It tapers down to about 17.5, and I think it was about 20.5, 20.5 at the thickest part of the clasp. Movement wise, turn it the right way around you, pillock. Movement wise, you've got a Swiss Solaris SW200 and it's a Elaborate grade, which has got the anti-shock system and all the rest of it in it. Runs at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It's got 26 joules, it's hackable, self-winding, and has an approximate 38-hour power reserve. The case is mostly brushed, but there are some polished accents there you can see. What's that fucking... the fingerprints. Well, come on. Aye, you got polished. It's quite an unusual one. It's no like a normal same level of chamfered edge all the way across. No, it's... I wouldn't say it's like an Amiga, because the Amiga's more twisted. It just goes thin to like a broader the width at the end of the lug there, and it doesn't go right across the front of the lug either. Oh, there's my fucking dog deciding to bark. Fucking wanker. Shut up! Oh, I'm gonna have to edit this out, innit? Fucking pain in the arse, Doug. Oh, fuck it. Brushed and polished, as I said. The brushing is fantastic. The polishing is superb. It's like a mirror. And the transition between the brushing and the polishing is fucking brilliant. Superb. Fucking Doug. Thing is, you go down the stairs to get your Doug around, and it just sits there and smiles at you and wags its tail, and you kind of get it around. You end up just getting it a clap, which is rather pointless. Where am I? The bezel is internal, as I mentioned. It's bi-directional. It's operated by the crown at 2, which both crowns are screwed down, by the way, which is good. And when you do set the bezel and you go to screw it down, it doesn't move. It stays exactly where you set it at, which is bang on. Bezel mirror, I mentioned that. The dial, it's got polished hands. They're kind of, what would you call them? Arrow hands. Index? No, I don't know index. Arrow hands. That's what I'm calling them. Let me see. Applied indices. All round. Well, in this version, with chrome surrounds. Let's see if I can, is that focused? Try to show off that bit of meteorite. You can see it, it's not a step dial, but you've got various finishes. The centre portion, but this one obviously, is meteorite. Then you've got, oh, focus you bastard. Then you've got like a, it's not a brush finish, but fucking dog. It's like a satin effect, I would say, where on that outer ring there, where the indices, oh, fuck's sake, shut up! Count to 10, Will. Fuck's sake. Aye, and then you on the outer edge you've got the inner rotating bezel, and that's just like a matte finish with the markers and that round the edges. On this Meteorite version, the date wheel is red, and that's what it's no different colours when you change dates and whatnot. It's red all the time, which is a nice. Actually, I didn't think I would be a fan of that, but you can't actually see it now. But well, you can. It matches. It gives that symmetrical kind of look because it matches the Direnzo logo there just under the indice at 12. What else could I say? The settings hand, it's got that lollipop loomed marker there, and the tip of the settings hand goes right out to the very edge of that minute track on that second ring there for the middle. You've got a crosshair type thing there on the middle as well. I've never liked when they stick a crosshair thing. I think it messes the dial. I think that would look so much better if it just removed the crosshair. But I'm clutching at straws, you know what I mean? It's a beautiful watch. But I would have preferred it without that crosshair. I think that would give it a cleaner look. Anyway, where am I? The loom used on this, which I'll show later, is BGW9. Bracelet, as I say, beads of rice. 316L stainless steel, solid links throughout. It's got female end links, screw pins, and a fully milled clasp with 6 micro adjustment holes. I'm going to kill that fucking dog. Crystal is flat sapphire with plenty of anti-reflective coating. As you can see, the lights, they're bright as fuck. And it does a good job. Can't complain. Water resistance is 200 metres. Case back screw down. And it has a rather funky embossed design on there. I think it's like a diver having a hissy fit or something. I don't know. When I first looked at it, I'm like, what the fuck is that? But it's really nice though. It's got the usual specs around the edge. But it's nice and smooth. No complaints here whatsoever. The crowns, both screw down as I mentioned earlier. Let's see, focus your best. The weight of the watch. Sized up for my wrist, 6 3/4 inches. I measured it at 147 grams, which is bang on perfect for me. The options you've got, colour wise, black, blue, red, and this Meteorite one, but as I say, that's gone. You've also got the option of date or no date, which is a nice touch. Personally speaking, I'd always go for the date, especially when it's at 6. Warranty, 2 years international warranty. Can't complain. $700, as I mentioned at the start of the video. Is that too much? I think it's worth it. Well, I'm a big fan of NTH watches, and they're about $700, and they use a lesser movement. And all I've said to them when I'm oh wait a minute, look, that's on my wrist today. $700 on this bracelet. I just mentioned to them that I'd like a on the fly adjustment with the clasp. The same could be same for this. But then comparing it to the NTH, you've got a far better movement in this, and it's a Libre grade as well. The bracelet, can't fault it. It's really good finishing, super comfortable, and it's got the same style of clasp as what's on the NTH on this. Aye, for sure I would love to see on the fly adjustment, but I reckon with the movement and everything that's in this, I think the price is pretty much justified. Well, that's basically it, guys. It's a superb watch. I love it. I love the way it wears. Talking of which, better show you a wrist shot, because you'll all start moaning in the comments. Where's the wrist shot? Where's the fucking loom shot? I'm not kidding, man. You cunts are like a bunch of kids, man. But to be fair, I always like to see a wrist shot when I'm looking at reviews and that myself. Gives you an idea. You can kind of relate to it with the size of your own wrist to what it's like on mine. There we go. Absolutely stunning. Fits beautifully. Extremely comfortable. Sits in the wrist nice and flat. I mean, what more can you ask for the money? Beautiful. Oh, shite. I better give you a wrist shot, Oh, shite, man. Fucking... Let's see about these friggin' lights. Somebody mentioned yesterday, the other day, that my wrist shot was shite. Well, I never actually said it like that, but... they said it was a bit blurry and whatnot. Well, I'll see what I can work out this time. Let's give it a wee blast with the torch here. Turn that light off. There you go. The loom's outstanding, by the way. I've got to say. Nice and evenly applied. Executed brilliantly. I just can't fault it. And it does last for quite a while. It's one of those watches you just go out in the garden for 5 minutes, come back in, and it's blooming shining away like a torch. I hate that fucking analogy. It's fucking bright, put it that way. I like it. To summarise, Sergio, if you're watching this, I'd actually like to buy this. I know I can't pre-order it, and I'd like to buy it from you, this one. It's a prototype, but I'm not caring. There's a couple of scratches on it and whatnot, but I'd still like to buy it. It fits into my collection beautifully. So, we'll speak later. But that just goes to show how much I like this. Superb jobs, Sergio. Right, if you like the video, apart from the fucking dog barking every 2 minutes, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. The majority of people that watch my videos aren't even subscribed, so hit the subscribe button, please. And I'll see you in the next one. Toodles.